Hey folks, it's the first week of May, so this is my Monthvlog video looking back over April 2021. So I can't believe how quickly this month has flown by. The big news from April is that Scotland has finally started to open up from lockdown. It's been really heartening over the past couple of weeks, just towards the end of the month, as restrictions have eased and we're able to go out and see people now. So I've spent a few days hanging out with friends down at Portobello Beach or having a pint outside at some of the local pubs. And it's just been really heartening to be able to be back and doing that. Hopefully over the next few weeks things will open up a little bit more. It's quite difficult to get an outside table in places at the moment. So it's been really heartening and I guess good for the soul to see good friends. It was my birthday at the end of the month as well. So second birthday in lockdown. A little bit of a non-event, but it was very nice. I baked a cake and got a lovely takeaway. So even though it was a very muted birthday, I guess it's been a bit of a muted year from some perspectives. I started the month at the Interintellect's Great Books book club salon on Beowulf. So in March I'd read Seamus Heaney's version, Tolkien's version, and some other adaptations and translations of the text. So it was really good to discuss with the other members of the club, looking at kind of Christian and pagan societies and some of the stories that support society. So looking at what kind of narrative myth a society might need to hold itself and community members together. Hot on the heels of April was the Canterbury Tales Salon. So I read Chaucer's Canterbury Tales for that, and I'm partway through Marion Turner's biography of Chaucer. I really recommend it. I'm probably about a third of the way through so far, but really enjoying that. I managed to take a few bike rides over April. I went on a couple up past Torduff Reservoir, so that's just south of Morningside. So I managed to find a route that's about an hour and a half from Morningside Clock, maybe 2 hours if you're taking it slow. So winding your way out through Bunnelly and then up past the reservoir, down onto the water of Leith and then home. So I took some nice videos and photos up there and posted them on various platforms. And I've also posted the routes that I'm doing on Komoot, my profile there, with a collection of kind of day rides out of Edinburgh. The second route I did was along the coast, east of Edinburgh, visiting the little towns and villages along there. That was super nice. It was about 70k in total, so a few hours worth of cycling. Cycled out, sat at some of the beaches along there, had some lunch, and then cycled back along. It was mostly on cycle paths and tracks, which was very nice. A little bit of a busy road towards the far end, but it was good overall and a lovely way to spend spring day. I've also posted the route for that on my Komoot profile if you want to follow along. In terms of photography, I've been managing to keep up my 52frames.com weekly photo challenge. There were challenges on fast shutter speed, the theme of feeling trapped, and last week's one was on fabric. So it's they're not the greatest photos in the world, but it's really helping me practice. You go and think, okay, well, what can I take a photo of? And think through a few different ideas and take a few different shots on that theme. I read some good books this month. I finally finished Hobbes's Leviathan, which in the end I actually quite enjoyed. I found it a bit of a struggle at first, partially because I didn't get some of the references he was making to the philosophy of Aristotle that he was criticising. I haven't read a lot of Aristotle, so I need to work through that. But it wasn't until the second section of the book that you get to the meat of his argument and the more well-known chapters. I enjoyed them and I got quite a lot out of it, and I hope that it is a book that I return to so I can relate it to other strains of thought in kind of political philosophy. I read Working Backwards, a book about Amazon and their working practices. I guess no matter what you think of Amazon, it's a fascinating company. They've obviously achieved a lot, revolutionising the world of logistics and e-commerce. So it was interesting to see how they worked. Particularly interesting was some of the ideas around intra-company services, APIs, and the way they manage their workflow, but also product development. So starting with a press release or frequently asked questions and working back from there. So if the press release doesn't deliver something of value to the customer, then you know you need to go and revise it. So it's well worth picking up, as Amazon, I think, is one of the key companies of our age. So it's always good to figure out what it is that they're doing right and where that can be applied to the companies that we are running. So in April, I also finished up my work for Shelter. I've been working with them on and off for over a year now as a freelance contract developer, sometimes 1 day a week, sometimes 4 days a week. It's been a really great time. I've really enjoyed working with the team there. I worked with them to migrate their website from an old content management system over to a new one using Node.js, JavaScript, Gatsby, Contentful, and a bunch of slightly newer technologies than they previously had. The migration was quite tough. We had to take all the different components of the website, work out new content models, and then work out some tooling so that developers and content editors can update and manage the website well. I've learned a lot about those various technologies, and it's been a really good experience. I'm going to take a few weeks off from contract work and focus on some product development for some of my own ideas, plus get some life admin done. I will be looking for work probably come the first week or two of June. If you're interested in chatting to me, please do reach out and we can see what I can do for you. I'm really looking forward to May. I think now that we're able to socialise a bit better, it will be good to get out and finally see a few more people. I'm looking forward to riding my bike, running, and getting stuck in to some product development. The next month notes I will publish at the start of June, so I will see you then.
Late. Here she is.